Alright guys, what I have here is a 2007 Crown Victoria. The display on the odometer here, where the trip reset and your odometer does not work. Sometimes it fades out. If you smack it, it'll come back on and last for a little bit, and then it'll kind of die out again. So what I've done here is I've removed this trim here, and a piece big bezel right here that holds your radio stereo inside. So I've already removed all that. What I need to get this whole speedometer out of here so I can show you guys the fix to get the odometer to work back again. So basically what we need to do here is remove this whole thing out of here. First thing I want to do is take a screwdriver and remove this front face. I've actually already got the clips out. There's tabs for it up top here. Looks like there's 2 of them up top, and there's actually 3 of them at the bottom. The reason we need to get the front face off is so we can remove that gear selector indicator right in there. So like I said, I've already kind of pulled the tabs out at the bottom and the top, so I can get this whole front piece off of here. And again, that's just the front glass piece. And then what we can do now is we can actually remove this whole indicator out of here. That's your gear. It's just 2 tabs on the side, and that whole thing will actually pull out of there. There we are. So that pulls out. The next thing we can actually do is, see, here's the display that doesn't work. And then we need to get the electrical connector off of here. And we can actually just, there's a tab here. So just kind of take a screwdriver sometimes and just kind of push that tab in, and that whole thing just moves this way, and the whole thing will actually come out of there. And this is the piece we're going to need to fix that display here. There's the back of it, and I'm actually going to put it on a bench now, and I'll show you guys the fix for this. Alright guys, so I have this off the vehicle. There's the front bezel. One thing I didn't tell you, there was 4 screws I was actually holding on to it in the dash itself, and I had actually removed those earlier to get the whole thing out. So again, here we are trying to fix this display on here, right up front, that doesn't light up. So the first thing you want to do is kind of flip it over, and you got to get the shield off of here, this plastic shield. I have a pick we can use. You can actually just use a screwdriver just to get this off. So what you want to do is kind of pry up on it where the tabs are, and the whole thing will actually just kind of pop out of there. And that's what we'll do. So here I undid all the tabs. We should be able to just pick it up out of there now, and we got this off. Another thing we need to do is we need to get this whole circuit board out of this housing here, to take a look and see what's going on the inside. So another thing we need to do is get these needles off so that whole circuit board will come out the back. So these needles, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. They all need to pop off. All you really need to do, I got my little helper here helping me. So what we got to do is just kind of pull these off. Usually if you just 2 fingers, and it'll just come off just like that. And one good thing I like to do is take a picture of it right before you remove the needles, so they kind of go back in the same spot. You can actually put it all of them at the down position, take a picture of it, and then just put them back in the same spot. That's just an easy way. So we're going to go ahead and pull them all off just like that. There you go. He's got one of them. And sometimes they can get kind of tight, but that's all you need. You don't really need any special tools to pull them off. It just kind of pushes onto the needle, and that's it. So we're done with the front face. So once we flip it, it's the same thing what we did with that plastic shield. This circuit board's gonna have to come off, and it's just these tabs holding it, like one here, one there, the center one here, and on the sides. So you could just start prying at one of them and just do them one at a time and kind of pull it off. I have these little picks here. They kind of come in handy to pick through if you need to. And I'll get those off. So here we are. The whole thing just kind of pops out of there. This is the back of the circuit board, and here's the front. So the issue we have is this display right here not working with the odometer and the trip. So we're going to take a look and see why it's not working. If you just turn it sideways, so if you look under the display here, there's actually two resistors right there. They're surface mount resistors, so they don't actually come out to the other side. And what I have noticed is they tend to kind of break connection on the ends here, and that's what kind of causes the display to go in and out. And that's why when you actually smack the display when in the car, and it'll actually work and then not work. So what we're going to do is take our soldering iron and redo the connections here, solder them back up. Here's a little better picture of them resistors under the display. It's these two little resistors. This one here, and there's one next to it. So there's two of them here. And like I said, they lose connections on the end. So if you take your soldering iron and just heat up the ends on it, that should make a better connection to where they work. And you want to put your soldering iron here and here, and then same thing to the one in the back. And that kind of gets them to where the connection is good, and that's all you need. You really don't need to put any more solder on it. There's just no room. It's kind of a delicate operation, so if you just take your small soldering iron and put it on the end there, and that kind of just melts the solder and reconnects it back on both ends. Then you want to do the same thing to the one in the back, and that'll usually get it to where it makes a good connection, and that's all you need. And let me try that one again here, and that's it. And now we'll actually plug it back in. Here's a little better picture. Let's see if I can get closer to it. There we go. You're able to see that there. Looks like they're nice and tight, and we'll see if it works. And at this point, actually, I'm just going to take the circuit board and plug it in and see if that display will come back to life. See if that actually works. So I just put the key in it. Let me go ahead and plug it back in. There we are. Click it in. And let's turn the key on. And there we are. Looks like the display is back on. Alright, looks like that did take care of it there. It's kind of sunny out, so hard to see. So it does work. There we are. See if I can kind of get you. There we go. Looks like 187 miles on this one. So now I can actually take the circuit board back out. There we go, the trip works. Looks like it's displaying how it should be. There we go, a little side picture is better. So display does work now. So we just tested it in the car, so the display does light up again. The resistors are all soldered up, so at this point we can go ahead and put it all back together. Just kind of reversal of how we took it apart. You know, all kind of pop back in together. There's no screws or anything holding it in the housing, so it kind of all just pop back in together. So just pop that back in, and just kind of push it all back into spot, so it kind of locks in with all the tabs. It's all good. Let's go ahead and put the plastic shield back on it. So it goes this way. There we are. And just all kind of fit back in. We got the plastic back on. Now we can actually flip it over, and we can put the needles back in how we got them off. So if you took a picture of it earlier, you can put them back in the same position and get the needles, get these needles back on in there again. Alright, so here's all the needles back on it again. Now we're ready to put the front face back on it with the glass and everything. One thing actually I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this plastic insert that's actually in here. I'm going to paint it a different color just to give it a custom look. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart and get the glass off of here. See if I can paint this different color. Maybe white just to match the car, because this car is white. So let's go ahead and do that. So what you want to do is there's actually tabs at the bottom. One right here, here, and here. Just take a screwdriver and just undo them tabs, and this glass piece will actually separate. And what we're looking for is just this piece. Now we're actually ready to put it in the car and see how it does.